Morgan met Whisperers. In Season 3's Clear, Morgan warned Rick about people wearing dead people's faces, years before the Whisperers were introduced. Morgan's line appears in Season 3, Episode 12, Clear, which aired in March 2013. The Whisperers first appeared in the comics in August 2014, over a year later. Showrunner Scott Gimple confirmed in 2016 that this definitely predated his knowledge of the Whisperers, because they were not in the book yet at all. However, the Tales of the Walking Dead episode D established that Whisperers existed earlier than Alpha's group, suggesting proto-Whisperers could have been around. Morgan was in a deteriorated mental state when he said this, so the line could reference walkers, hallucinations, or an actual early Whisperer encounter. Officially, this is stated as coincidence, but the fact that Tales of the Walking Dead established Whisperers existed earlier than previously thought keeps this theory alive. This represents one of The Walking Dead's most debated coincidences, a throwaway line that perfectly describes a villain introduced over a year later. Whether Morgan encountered an early Whisperer group during his months alone, or simply hallucinated the concept, the theory demonstrates how the expanded universe creates retroactive possibilities. Rick, Immunity. How did Rick survive alone in that hospital for months without food or water when the world fell apart around him? The theory originated from Season 1 Hospital Survival Questions. Rick woke up approximately 4 to 5 weeks after the outbreak began, according to Robert Kirkman. 3 main theory variations exist among fans. Version 1 suggests Rick actually died in the hospital, and the virus brought him back differently, not as a zombie, making him functionally immortal. Version 2 argues Rick is immune to the virus due to the hospital setup, where machines, IV fluids, or a sealed environment prevented initial infection. Version 3 proposes Rick can't become a walker when he dies and will always revive as a living person. Shane checked Rick's pulse in a Season 1 flashback, heard nothing, and left him for dead. YouTube channel Clash PR analyzed the theory extensively in a 2023 video that garnered hundreds of thousands of views. The CRM's intense interest in Rick could support the immunity theory, as Jadis called him very valuable. Rick survived numerous injuries throughout the series that exposed him to walker blood. The theory gained traction after Rick disappeared with the CRM, suggesting they discovered something special about him. Robert Kirkman has never directly addressed the Rick immunity theory, though Carl was also theorized immune due to similar survival of severe injuries before his walker bite disproved this. Rick's immunity theory touches on The Walking Dead's central mystery, why some people might resist the virus differently. The CRM's desperate interest in Rick, keeping him for years against his will, suggests they discovered something unique about his biology. Whether Rick actually died and revived differently, or his hospital circumstances created immunity, remains the franchise's most enduring character mystery. PPP Card. A mysterious card with 3 letters, PPP, has appeared throughout the Walking Dead universe, and nobody knows what it means. It first appeared in Season 7, Episode 6, Swear, with Heath's disappearance. Heath vanished during a supply run with Tara, and only his broken glasses and the PPP card remained. Showrunner Angela Kang confirmed Jadis and the CRM took Heath, but the PPP purpose remains unexplained. The second appearance came in Tales of the Walking Dead, Episode 5, Devon, where a character possesses an identical card with a picture of family, visible at timestamps 4 minutes 29 seconds and 7 minutes 3 seconds. The third appearance occurs in the Ones Who Live finale, where a whiteboard shows PPP exception during reclamation plan discussion. CRM reclamation teams are tasked with eliminating witnesses and evidence of CRM presence. Theory 1 suggests PPP marks communities or people to spare during CRM operations, designating protected locations. Theory 2 proposes PPP stands for Priority Placement Program for CRM military personnel. Theory 3 identifies PPP as marking CRM spies or infiltrators embedded in various communities. Daryl Dixon, Season 3, shows a person in Spain wearing a jacket with the PPP symbol. The PPP mystery represents The Walking Dead's commitment to long-game storytelling, planting clues across multiple shows spanning years. Unlike most mysteries that receive resolution, PPP remains deliberately cryptic, appearing just often enough to remind viewers something significant lurks beneath. The exception notation suggests PPP holders receive special treatment during CRM's ruthless operations, possibly marking valuable assets or protected individuals. Abraham Immunity. In Season 5, Sasha accidentally cut Abraham with a knife covered in fresh walker blood, so why didn't he turn? The incident occurred during a Season 5 walker clearing mission. Sasha used a knife to kill walkers, leaving the blade covered in blood and gore. She accidentally cut Abraham's arm with the same contaminated knife. Abraham showed no symptoms, never got sick, and never turned. Later seasons established that walker-contaminated weapons are deadly, as Negan's saviors used this tactic throughout Season 8. Multiple characters died from infected wounds, and Father Gabriel nearly died from infection after walker blood exposure. Abraham was killed by Negan months later, so his immunity was never tested further. The theory proposes some individuals are naturally immune to walker blood, not bites, just blood exposure. An alternative explanation suggests the wound wasn't deep enough to cause infection. Abraham's survival of contaminated blade exposure becomes significant only in retrospect, after saviors prove walker blood weapons are lethal. This raises questions about whether some survivors possess natural resistance to bacterial infection from walker exposure, separate from virus immunity. Abraham, never knowing he might be special, adds tragic irony, as he possessed potential immunity but died from blunt force trauma before it mattered. Orange Backpack. An orange backpack first appeared in Season 3 with a dying hitchhiker, and it's been following characters to their deaths ever since. The backpack first appears in Season 3, Episode 12, Clear, with a roadside hitchhiker. Rick, Michonne, and Carl drive past the hitchhiker twice, refusing to help. The hitchhiker is killed by walkers, and the group takes his orange backpack. Carl brought the backpack to the prison before the governor's attack. Glenn had the backpack when leaving the prison during Season 4 Chaos. Glenn later died in Season 7. The backpack remains visible in multiple Season 5 through 6 episodes. Daryl wore the backpack in Season 6, and Denise died nearby in the same episode. Carl had the backpack in Season 8 and revealed his walker bite that season. The theory suggests the backpack is cursed because the group didn't help the hitchhiker, with karma following them. Counter evidence includes Daryl wearing it and surviving. The orange backpack theory exemplifies fans finding patterns in The Walking Dead's narrative, whether intentional symbolism or coincidental prop reuse. The backpack's association with death works thematically, as it represents the cost of survival choices, literally carrying the weight of those they couldn't save. Rick's decision to take supplies while abandoning the hitchhiker establishes moral compromise, and the backpack becomes a visual reminder that those choices have consequences. Enid Spy. When the wolves attacked Alexandria in Season 6, one teenager seemed suspiciously calm. Was Enid working with them all along? The theory emerged during Season 5 through 6, particularly in episode JSS, which stands for Enid's motto, "Just survive somehow." Evidence cited by fans in 2015 includes Enid frequently leaving Alexandria's walls alone. She possessed keys to every door in the Alexandria community. During the wolves' attack, Enid showed no fear while others panicked. The attack timing was perfect, occurring when Rick and most fighters were outside the walls. Enid left the community immediately after the attack. Cinema Blend and other outlets published theory analysis in October 2015. Counter evidence shows Enid never helped the wolves during the actual attack. Carl followed her once and saw no suspicious meetings. Enid returned to Alexandria and lived there peacefully for years. The theory was never addressed or resolved on the show. The Enid Spy theory captures a moment when the Walking Dead fans were primed for paranoia. After Alexandria's sheltered residents proved vulnerable, suspecting infiltration made sense. Enid's survivalist skills and secretive behavior fit the pattern, but her continued presence and eventual heroism undermined the theory. Most significantly, the show never bothered confirming or denying it, leaving Enid's pre-Alexandria activities forever unexplained and the theory in permanent limbo. By the way, if you're enjoying this, I post videos like this all the time. Subscribing would really help me out. Judith Immunity. Could children born after the outbreak be immune to walker bites? The theory proposes that babies born post-outbreak might not turn when bitten. Judith was born during Season 3, making her a post-apocalypse baby. Tom Payne, who played Jesus, told Seriously YouTube that he thinks this could definitely be a future storyline in the show, and it makes sense that Judith could be immune. Ross Marquand, who plays Aaron, said the theory has a lot of viability when asked by fans. However, Robert Kirkman previously rejected immunity storylines, stating at the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con that this would be terrible, and not a storyline he likes. Judith has never been bitten on screen, so her immunity has never been tested. The theory extends to all post-outbreak babies, including Judith, Gracie, RJ, and Herschel Jr. The scientific basis involves potential generational adaptation to the virus. The counter-argument notes they'd still die from physical trauma and just wouldn't turn. The Judith immunity theory represents hope, the idea that humanity might naturally evolve resistance to the plague. It's compelling because it offers a potential endgame where the next generation is immune, waiting out the existing walkers until decomposition finishes them. However, Kirkman's opposition suggests this will never be canonical. The theory persists because it's never been definitively disproven, existing in that perfect sweet spot of maybe that keeps fans speculating. Eugene Cure. Eugene admitted he lied about being a scientist, but what if he actually did know something about curing the outbreak? In canon, Eugene revealed in Season 5 he's a high school science teacher, not a government scientist. His lie motivated the group to reach Washington, D.C. A persistent fan theory suggests Eugene actually had a scientific framework for a cure, but chose the group over the mission. Some fans believe Eugene genuinely could have helped scientific research. In the Season 4 finale, Eugene described using modified weaponized microorganisms to kill walkers. His claim focused on killing walkers, not curing humans, by targeting infected cells. Later seasons prove Eugene is genuinely brilliant, as he manufactures bullets and builds radio systems. The theory proposes Eugene was happy with his found family and preferred keeping them together over a risky cure attempt. This theory transforms Eugene from pure liar to someone who made a choice, valuing human connection over potential salvation. His demonstrated intelligence in later seasons proves he could have contributed meaningfully to cure research. The theory asks whether you would sacrifice found family for a slim chance at curing the world. Eugene chose people over mission, and some fans believe he actually could have helped but decided the cure wasn't worth losing his friends. Lizzie Whisperers. In Season 4, young Lizzie believed walkers were still people, but what if she actually heard whisperers talking? Lizzie's disturbing behavior in Season 4 showed she believed walkers were alive and named a walker Nick. She told Carol, "They talked to me about walkers." Lizzie killed her sister Mika, believing Mika would come back and still be herself. Carol and Tyrese killed Lizzie after she proved dangerous. The fan theory suggests Lizzie heard whisperers whispering among walker herds and thought all walkers talk. The Tales episode D established whisperers existed much earlier than previously known. The timeline presents an issue. As the episode aired in 2014, whisperers were introduced in comics in 2014 and appeared in the show in 2018. Showrunners confirmed this is coincidence, as whisperers weren't created when Lizzie episodes were filmed. However, the Tales retcon makes the theory retroactively plausible. The alternative explanation involves Lizzie having severe psychosis or schizophrenia with auditory hallucinations. Lizzie's tragic story becomes even darker if she actually heard whisperers. Instead of pure mental illness, she might have had a genuine experience that her child's mind couldn't process. Hearing masked humans whispering among the dead could easily make a traumatized child believe all walkers were secretly alive. French facility. World Beyond's post-credit scene finally revealed where the outbreak began, but did French scientists create it on purpose? The World Beyond Season 2 finale post-credits shows the French biomedical facility La Biomédecine DDMI. The scene takes place years after the main Walking Dead timeline. A female scientist returns to the abandoned facility, hoping to find a cure. A male survivor confronts her with a gun, saying, "End this? You started this." Graffiti on the wall reads, "Les morts sont nés ici," meaning, "The dead were born here." Video playback shows Dr. Jenner from TWD Season 1 discussing variants with the French team. Multiple French teams are mentioned, including Primrose Team and Violet Team. Primrose Team traveled to Toledo, Ohio for a conference right before the outbreak. The male survivor implies scientists made it worse when trying to cure it. The debate centers on whether the virus was an accidental creation or deliberate bioweapon. One theory suggests the facility was attacked and the virus accidentally released in chaos. An alternative theory proposes intentional population control experimentation gone wrong. The Daryl Dixon series explores France and shows synthetic variants and continued experiments. Season 1 of Daryl Dixon features acidic zombies and modified walkers, proving continued French experimentation. Ground Zero is confirmed, but the full truth about intentionality remains unrevealed. The French origin revelation answered The Walking Dead's longest-running question while creating new ones. Robert Kirkman always refused to explain the outbreak's cause, believing mystery served the story better. World Beyond violated this principle by confirming French scientists were responsible, but maintained ambiguity about whether it was accident, attack, or something darker. This transforms the apocalypse from natural disaster to human-caused catastrophe. Variant timeline. In Season 1, walkers could run, use tools, and turn doorknobs. Then those abilities disappeared for 10 seasons before suddenly returning. Season 1 walkers displayed intelligence, including opening doors, using rocks, climbing, and running. The The little girl walker in the pilot picked up a stuffed toy. In Season 1, Episode 2, a walker used a rock to break a glass door. Morgan's wife tried a doorknob repeatedly. After Season 1, walkers became consistently slow and mindless for years. Season 11 reintroduced variant zombies with intelligence and speed. The show's explanation suggests zombies evolved or learned over time. The problem is, variants existed from the very beginning, contradicting the evolution theory. World Beyond offers an alternate explanation where French scientists made it worse, creating variants. The problem with that explanation is, why did variants disappear for 10 years, then return? A fan theory proposes the French variant virus arrived early, lay dormant, then spread fully years later. No explanation exists for the middle years without variants. A possible production reason involves Season 1 director Frank Darabont wanting smarter zombies, while later showrunners changed their approach. The variant timeline represents The Walking Dead's most obvious plot hole, one the show tried explaining with evolution, despite contradicting its own Season 1 evidence. This demonstrates how long-running shows struggle maintaining consistency over 11 seasons, with multiple showrunners. The inconsistency is probably production history rather than deliberate mystery, but fans created theories attempting to explain it in-universe. Designation Two. In Season 11, Connie was marked Designation 2 and nearly shipped away to a fate described only as never seen again. Season 11, episode Outpost 22, shows several survivors sent to labor camps designated as Designation 1. Connie was labeled Designation 2 by Governor Pamela Milton's order. A Commonwealth soldier reacted with, "Oh shit," when seeing Designation 2. A dying soldier told Carol and Daryl he'd only heard rumors about Designation 2, that they're taken somewhere far away and never seen again. The theory suggests Designation 2 people are sent to the CRM for experiments, similar to Jadis trading people. Connie was a journalist who exposed Milton family corruption pre-outbreak, making her a personal enemy of the governor. Designation 2 potentially marks CRM test subjects like those seen in World Beyond. Connie was rescued before being sent, so the full truth was never revealed. The Commonwealth had trains operating, suggesting a CRM connection. Lance Hornsby mentioned alliances the Commonwealth maintained. Designation 2 represents the Commonwealth's darkest secret, a disposal method for problematic citizens. The terrified soldier reaction and never seen again description suggests something worse than labor camps. If the Commonwealth was trading people to the CRM like Jadis did, it explains their advanced resources and independence. Connie being targeted specifically for past journalism makes it political elimination disguised as administrative designation. If you found this interesting, consider subscribing so you never miss new content. Thanks for watching.